Hey, Nicole, how are you? Susie, how are you? Tillman, good to see you. Patrick, how are you? How are you? Please swipe and invite your followers. Shauna, good to see you. The red herring debate is over. Pfft. Hey, Rhonda, the 3%er, hey, how are you? The Second Amendment, good to see you. Amanda, how is everybody? Everybody enjoy the dog and pony show? Headed in the store, so I might lose you. Okay. Buy me some feed for the horse there. Hey, Gary. Hey, Mike. How are you? Good to see you. Kim, good to see you. Now on the country's business. Yes, Tillman, don't you wish that we could do that? Sessions was great with answers to Wyden. Good I didn't get to see it. Ugh, you didn't miss anything. Everything you assumed. Kamala Harris is, I don't even know what to say about that woman. She is the most obnoxious woman that ever wanted to be president that I've ever seen. I think she even beats Elizabeth Warren in being the rudest, most unprofessional senator. I don't know how she got there, but anyway, another swamp dweller. Absolutely, she is horrible. Twitter storm, yes. Uh, the only time that Kamala can be professional and let someone answer, a witness answer, is when she's talking to a Democrat. Other than that, she interrupts. She sat there. This is Kamala Harris. She sat there, and she also did you notice that she? I'm glad you love. Who's your senator? She sat there and basically laughed at the end of it. She has no off button. She's always on camera. She's going to be just like Nancy Pelosi in about I don't know 10 years. Cotton was great. Cotton was absolutely great. He stole the show. I mean he brought this the whole hearing down to what it really was. Yes, he's embarrassing. McCain needs to retire. Whatever he said. Kamala Kalua, such a piece of work, Shauna said. She was so horrid. And I'll tell you one thing. I don't know what's going on, but I was watching Fox on the live feed on Facebook, and I have never seen such pro-Democrat responses in my life. I don't know where all the conservatives were, but there were. I think I was the only conservative on there. Harris was terrible because Harris is terrible. Called him and told him how proud I was. I mean, good. Yeah, I mean, Cotton made this about what it is. It's about nothing. It's about a witch hunt. It's about a dog and pony show. It's about how do we waste the taxpayer money time? How do we try to make the president look bad? How do we not only try to make the president look bad, but now let's also try to make it look as though, I mean, did you notice the words that you, Senator, Attorney General Sessions, you're obstructing justice? I mean, they had to go there too because he wouldn't answer, because he wouldn't talk about his private communications with the president. They had to say basically, oh, you're just obstructing justice. It's so, I don't know. But Shauna, on Facebook like that, I mean, sometimes you have to speak up. Hey, Beck. I mean, it's just amazing that every single Democrat, and then Wyden, I think Wyden was the worst. Oh my gosh. You're obstructing. You're not telling us information. Why are you doing that? And how many times, if you go back and you look and see how many times under the Obama administration that people did that? How many times under every administration did you do that? Sessions did do a great job. I like the fact that he put Harris in her place. Basically, if you don't let me qualify it, then you're going to say I lied about it. And guess what? She absolutely would. And if she didn't, the media would, because that's what they do. They're already talking about it. And I see that I was watching the feed. Hey, Bill, how are you? I was watching the feed on Facebook, and all people were saying is, oh, look, they cut the woman off. Why is it they'll let everybody else speak except the female senators? Oh, it's a war on women. Now, if that had been, if that had not been, if that had been a Democrat, it would have been perfectly fine to shut her up. But because it was the chairman and he's a Republican, then it's a war on women. It's the same disgusting lies over and over and over again. Hey, Renee, how are you? I mean, it's just so predictable, so ridiculous. Why don't they look at Hillary, Rice, Holder, Lynch? Because you know what? So far, nobody has brought that up. We need to have a special investigator. Somebody needs to look at all of those people. Somebody needs to look at Comey. Somebody needs to look at Lynch, Clinton, all of that. Maybe if she acted like a woman, that wouldn't be the case. I don't know what that means, but she's horrible. But until somebody starts and appoints that special counsel for those people, we're not going anywhere. And the people who generally appoint the special counsel is the Attorney General's office. And I had somebody on Twitter arguing with me that the president has the authority to remove Mueller. From what I have seen, he does not have the authority to remove Mueller. And he's not even the one that's saying that he's going to do that. That's somebody else speaking out saying that's what he's thinking when they don't even know, or they're leaking information that they shouldn't be leaking. And I gave you that. It's, what is it, 28 CFR 600.7 in parentheses small d. I believe that's what it was. And that, yeah, that's it. That's what the law that they're going by. It's the deputy AG in this case. He's the one that appointed the special counsel, and he's the one that can remove the special counsel. And he said, as we talked about earlier, he's not going to do that. So, I mean, I hope earlier, we asked everybody to make phone calls. I hope everybody called and rang the phone off. I did. I called and told them, you need to get rid of Mueller, that this whole thing is a farce, that this whole thing has gone on far too long. There's not a shred of evidence. Uh, President Trump has been cleared. You have nothing. You're doing 9 months of the same thing. And thank you for calling, everybody. 9 months of doing the same thing, which is absolutely zero. Wasting our taxpayer money. And people on the left, they're very happy to allow the taxpayers' money to be wasted because, they don't care. They don't care about the fact that we need to be doing, business other than chasing rainbows here, which is there's nothing here to look at. So what if Russia tried to interfere with the investigation, which we have seen that Russia did nothing, even if they tried to interfere, they got nothing done. Okay, go do that. That does not give you a reason to bring up an investigation on the administration, the entire presidential administration. I mean, I think this is the first time that I ever recall that when you just come in and you've been elected and you just passed your 100 days, that practically everybody in the Trump administration is under investigation for what? Something that they claim that the Russians did, something that they claimed happened. It's a claim. There's not even, I mean, if you went into a court of law and you tried to bring this into a court of law, they would say, show me some facts. Oh, I don't have any. It's just a feeling I have. Well, I saw some people talking to some Russians one day. I mean, come on. You would be laughed out of court. Of course, unless it was the Ninth Circus Court of Appeals, and then it'd be great. But this is crazy. They would laugh you out. And them trying to tell, the AG, well, private conversations that you have with Donald Trump, you should be able to come here and talk about. And he keeps saying, well, and he's correct about this. He cannot invoke the executive privilege. Only the president, the executive, can do that. But it's like what he explained. I would preclude him being able to do that if I talked about conversations that I had with the president. And I tell you something, like Coley, I know you had to turn it off. If you talk about conversations that you have with the president, you'd better be knowing for sure that you're not telling classified information. And if you start talking about what the president and you discuss, then they're going to say, well, you talked about this. Why won't you talk about that? So if you're talking about something that you are sure is not classified, which again, you shouldn't do anyway, but if you're talking about something that you know isn't classified, and they say, well, why didn't you talk about the classified information? It may open you up to then have to talk about the classified information because you already waived the privilege over here when you talked about unclassified information. And the thing of it is, what really burns me up is that the majority of the people in the public don't understand that because they don't have law degrees. Most of those senators sitting there on the panel, they have law degrees. They understand what it means. They understand what executive privilege means. They understand what it means to waive a privilege. And yet they're sitting there and talking down to Jeff Sessions in front of the American public in a dog and pony show. That's exactly what it was. No, Chrissy, they know exactly what it is. And Kamala Harris and all those other people, they know exactly what they're saying to him. They know exactly that he's not obstructing justice. They want to make him look bad, just like they've done throughout this entire farce. They want the whole administration to look bad. It is just a show, and it's ridiculous. And it's getting worse by the minutes. Gives them 3 months of memes and fundraising. They do, but they don't want to follow it. They don't want to follow it because they don't feel that they have to. Now, if the shoe were on the other foot, if we were talking about Obama, and this were his attorney general coming in like Holder did, and Holder who said, I'm not going to talk to you about conversations I had with the president, then everything's fine. Everything's okay. There's no obstruction. You're doing exactly what you want to do. You see that what the left does is they use the law against people on the right, and is exactly what they do. And they don't follow the law unless they want it to apply to them. And they would be screaming bloody murder, Nina. You're right. It's a two-way street. You know, what's good for them is not good for you. And it's infuriating. Thank you, Barbara. I was so angry sitting there looking at that. And yet, Chrissy, they are continuing that. Why don't they launch investigations into Lynch? They put them on defense. Exactly, Rhonda. They should. And maybe that, you know what? Maybe that's our second phone call. Maybe we should be telling Mueller, look, or calling Jeff Sessions. Don't call Mueller. Go to, Rosenstein. Call Sessions and say, look, it's high time you started an investigation into Comey, into Lynch, into the Clinton Foundation. Why are you not doing this investigation? You know, you should look into it. You should look into the fact that Comey usurped his authority as the FBI director. And when he said, we're not going to prosecute Hillary Clinton. Why did he do that? He did that because the Attorney General Lynch had compromised herself and her office in the DOJ. That right there is due an investigation. It's high time. If we had done that from the very beginning, we wouldn't be in this problem right now. We wouldn't have this Russian investigation farce. We wouldn't be going on for, God knows how long doing this. And it's time. It is time. And if you start doing a Clinton investigation, then it's going to be well, you're only doing this because you're trying to cover up and this Russian investigation. You know what? I don't care. Let's poke Sessions. I really don't care. It is time that justice is served. If we're searching for the truth, we have enough evidence here. Enough evidence from Comey, from what Comey did, from what Lynch did, from what that we found out about Lynch and about what Comey said about Lynch, etc. We have enough information to start an investigation for truth, not for a dog and pony show, not for covering up anything, not for doing an injustice or an disservice to the American people. This is for truth and justice, and we should do that, and we should demand it. As the American public, we should demand this investigation. And again, we should be calling Sessions' office right after we call Rosenstein, and we should be saying, we demand that you do this investigation. The American people deserve that investigation. And I don't care I am fired up, Shauna. I tell you, I'm sick and tired of this. I am sick and tired of all the conflicts, everybody looking at it and just kind of going, oh, well, he'll do great. No, he won't. I'm tired of it. Enough with being nice. Yes, enough with being nice. Hey, Gina, how are you? Yes, call some of them out. I'm over the BS. Yes, Shauna, over the BS. We are all tired of it. And the Second Amendment said we absolutely are. So tired. to no more turn the other cheek. Yes, forget it. I am done with that. I want to see justice served. And I can tell you again, because we have factual information that we have good reason to believe that something occurred that is some sort of wrongdoing. It isn't that, oh, you know what? I think Russia may have tried to hack us and ruin our election. So therefore, that makes everybody in the Trump administration guilty. No, you have zero because you've always had zero. You have nothing. DB Dennis 2211. It's your first day on Periscope, and you've come to the right place. Until the liberals are ejected from the Republican Party, not much will happen. Our 12 o'clock call tomorrow demand investigation of the real crimes. There's no proof that they even hacked. There really isn't. It's just a consensus. Oh, yeah, they tried to do something. I'm not even sure that, they may have tried to do something. They try to do something, I'm sure, every election for a number of different countries, just like we do. I mean, we've been accused, America has been accused of trying to influence elections. Remember Obama trying to influence Netanyahu in getting elected, not getting elected in Israel? Remember that? Did we have an investigation when he tried to get himself and interfere with that election in Israel? I don't think we did. Can Sessions unrecuse himself? I don't think so. No, he's not going to do that. If counsel told him not to do it, thanks, Cully. Counsel told him not to do it. He can't do it. He can't say, "Oh, okay, well those things don't exist anymore." If it's a conflict of interest, there will be a conflict with it's called ethics. And if you have something like that, they could take his bar license away from him to practice. And then if you don't have your license to practice as an attorney general, you're probably not going to be attorney general very long. Not that you're going to be up there prosecuting, but you've got to have that law license. Yeah, Trump has been vindicated, but nobody on the left wants to do that. Everyone insisted on Russia collusion needs to be pulled in front of the committee. That would suck. This lie has hurt many, like Hillary's. Yes, we have actual ethics. They certainly don't. Right. See, we follow the rules. We try to follow the rules in the law, but they don't. And then them asking him questions about what you talk to with your legal counsel. If I were him, I would say, you know what? That's privileged information. That's called attorney-client privilege. And I'm not going to talk to you about what I asked my attorney or didn't ask my attorney. That's none of their business. And you know what? They know exactly what that rule is that he's talking about, and that long-standing rule. It's gone back for, however long. And so the thing that needs to be done is every time that that's been invoked by a Democrat, get that out there and put it in front of their faces. That's what they need. They act him like, well, they do think they're entitled, Chrissy. That's exactly the way they do it. I mean, they act like, again, well, you're not answering my question, then that's because you're obstructing justice. No, because there are certain things that you don't talk about. They're called privilege, whether it's executive privilege, whether it's attorney-client privilege. And again, if Sessions were to go ahead and talk about conversations that he'd had with the president without the president being there, without the president's attorney being there, then the president has potentially lost his ability to do so. And it's ridiculous. Why would anybody working for somebody go ahead and say something? And again, you better be sure if you do that it's not classified information that you're talking about. And some of that stuff that Comey talked about, it could be classified or some type of privileged information. It could be both. So why aren't we investigating all of that? Again, I'm willing to, if you're going to take my taxpayer money for something, then take it to go and investigate the Clintons, Comey, Lynch, and on and on and on. Oh, gosh. Makes me furious. And I think, people were saying, oh, look, every time the Democrats ask him a question, Sessions drones on and on. But if it's the Republicans, he answers right away. No, that's not true. He gave his answers. When you ask somebody a question, you can't dictate how long it's going to take for them to answer or what they're going to say. I mean, even that person said, I can't remember which one it was. Let me have water. When he said, you can just answer yes or no. He didn't want to answer yes and no. You don't get to dictate what somebody says or how they answer it. And I think, again, at the American public, I remember one time as a licensed psychotherapist, sometimes you're called in if there's a lawsuit going on. This happened to be a sexual harassment suit. A client came to me looking for psychotherapy services, and then she sued her company afterwards, okay, for sexual harassment. And I was called in. I had to give a deposition. It was a videotaped, and where they do the typing and the videotape at the same time. And I had multiple, I'm talking about 4 or 5 maybe attorneys, I can't remember how many, asking me questions throughout this deposition. And this deposition went on for, I'm guessing, close to 6 hours nonstop, and maybe taking a tiny break. Hey, Mike, taking a tiny break for a couple of minutes. You try doing that for 6 hours straight when you're on the spot. And I wasn't even, I'm not the one who was involved in the lawsuit, other than the fact that she had come to me for psychological services. And I had in that deposition, I had my attorney sitting right with me, so that he could object if I started to say something that might incriminate me, or say something that was improper, whatever the case may be, mostly protecting me. And, so you've got Jeff Sessions who's sitting there, who's supposed to, he's the attorney general, right? He is not only, he's protecting the United States citizens and what he's doing. So you don't want this man to be sitting here and telling everybody in the world what his discussions are with the president. Maybe they discuss things. And again, if you open up that conversation and you open that up and say, well, we talked about this, they're going to want to know every single conversation that you had with the president, and they're not going to stop. It'll be, we need everything in writing, or we want you to be in closed session, or we want you to talk about it. And even when they said, we want you to come back in closed session, will you talk about it then? He said, I will do what is appropriate. And they didn't like that answer, because they wanted him to say, yes, I'm going to come back and do it. And then when he finds out that he's not allowed to do it because, again, it's another violation of the executive privilege, then they'll say, well, you promised there, under oath that you would come back and tell us everything, and now you're obstructing justice. So in every turn, they tried to set him up. And in every turn, he answered appropriately. He said what any skilled, experienced attorney should have said. He handled himself appropriately and properly throughout the entire hearing. He really did an excellent job. The president should be proud of him. The Americans should be proud of him. He did a great job. The left didn't think so. They didn't like his comments, that derogatory comments about him being an old man. I don't recall. Why don't you answer? Type of things. He did exactly what any experienced, knowledgeable, and attorney worth their salt would have done. He handled himself appropriately. So, again, and Senator Cotton showed what it was really all about. It's a dog and pony show. It's a circus. It's done for the left's entertainment. It's done to try to bring the president down. And as I said to you every time I talk to you about this isn't only against the president of the United States. They're doing that against us. They're doing that against America, because as long as they do this, Donald Trump is unable to do everything that he needs to get done. Donald Trump just needs to focus on what he's doing for America, move forward. We can support him. We need to show him our support. We need to tweet to him and show him our support. We need to tell him that he's doing a great job, that we think that Mueller ought to be removed, that we think an investigation ought to be done against Clinton, Comey, and Lynch. And it should be done now. And bring all these people to justice. It's past time. Who's with me on that? I don't see any comments. You guys are really silent right now. You're very quiet. I'm assuming Periscope is still working. Anybody have any comments on Periscope? Either Periscope stopped working or you're just very quiet. So, am I assuming that Periscope shut the conversation down? They must have, because I see no mention of anything. So I think Periscope shut me down, and it doesn't say that, but nothing is going on in the room. Yep, it's getting censored. I'm being told that my everything that I'm doing on Periscope right now is getting censored. If anybody can hear me on Periscope, please go over to YouTube right now. Go over and look for the Susan Knowles channel. Hey, Rob, how are you? Rob, my conversation's getting censored over on Periscope. So I'm going to stop Periscope and come back. If you will, everybody, if you could just go over to YouTube, that would be great. Let me try to start this back up. And try to get this conversation going again. What do you think? What do you guys think on YouTube about what's happened? Hey, thanks, Nina. Yeah, you had a lot of messages on Periscope. Is that what shut me down? Not your friend? Who's not my friend? It's amazing that they shut you down on Periscope. I'm telling you, this is why we need everybody to start coming over to YouTube. I'm going to try to go back up on Periscope, but I don't know how long it'll last. Listening, but got my hands full. It's okay, Rob. If you're, if you're on Periscope now, because it looks like I'm getting censored. Everybody, it would be nice if everybody would just go on over to YouTube. Go over to YouTube for the Susan Knowles channel, and just sign up over there because they may be censoring again. They were doing this the other night to a couple people. How do we get to tell sessions? Donna, call his office. Call that 205 202 353 1555. 202 353 1555. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I can see you now. Yeah, I couldn't see you guys at all before. It was like nobody was there, nobody was commenting. I really wish that you guys would go over to YouTube, go to Susan Knowles and sign up over there. When stuff like this happens and we get censored on Periscope, I would like to just, yeah, I know. I couldn't see a thing, Barbara, nothing. And, but if we, what is that number? It is 202 353 1555. That is the number to call the Attorney General's office. Yes, but how do you comment on YouTube? It's so easy. All you do is if you're on a PC, there's a chat, there's a live chat, and you just, if you want to talk to a person, you like put at and their name, and there it is. Froze again on, so see, Periscope's doing it again. Periscope is cutting out the conversation. Everybody, okay, has been happening. I'll try to get on a computer for Robin. We want to call sessions, and we want sessions to know that we need to start an investigation by special counsel on Comey, Lynch, and Clinton Foundation. And we also need for you to call Rosenstein's office and tell Rosenstein to remove Mueller. That this is absolutely not something. It's a farce. That this is a dog and pony show that's been going on. You are not on YouTube yet. Yeah, I'm on YouTube right now. I'm doing YouTube and Periscope at the same time. Yeah, it sounds like a fefe. Yeah, it doesn't sound like a fefe. Yeah, the Periscope is getting to be a big time censorship. It was doing that the other night. Hey, Robert, good to see you. So if you just go to YouTube, look for my picture under Susan Knowles, sign up, and then just click on that little bell for the notification. It is a waste of our money, Kim, and that's what you should be telling them. Yeah, I think, Shauna, you're the only one having that problem. Hey, Karen, good to see you over here. I mean, we really need, going to try to get over there. Yeah. Did I get that number right? I believe so. It's 202-353-1555. Nina, YouTube censors a lot, but it's typically after the fact. Yeah, Mueller's looking for unpaid parking tickets. Not anything that Comey had unpaid, but just everybody else. Anybody connected with the Trump administration. Hey, how are you? Haven't seen you in a long time. So, if everybody would go to YouTube, we wouldn't have to worry about it. Lorianne, I was telling everybody just to go over to YouTube and sign up under Susan Knowles. Go to the Susan Knowles channel because Periscope is kind of censoring us. They basically a minute ago, I couldn't see anybody's comments whatsoever, and it was like nobody was there. And now it's dropped down. We had a lot of people, and it just totally dropped off. I guess they don't like it. Perry had that trouble. I know it's been doing that to people all week. And it's really getting bad. And I'm sure it's because of what's in the Twitter feed when I put in there, or not in the Twitter feed, but in the Periscope feed. Eventually get him on something, but nothing having to do with this. That's what they're trying to do, Nina. Periscope stinks. You can hear me. I know, Marguerite, but a while ago I couldn't see you guys at all. I couldn't see any of the hearts. There were no comments coming through. Absolutely nothing. So if you could retweet that first one, that would be great. Hey, Robin, glad that you came over. So anytime that Periscope does that again and goes down, if you're already signed up on YouTube, you can just hop right on YouTube because we've kept going on YouTube. I didn't have to stop. Yeah, it's really weird, Amanda, because I could see none of it. And I didn't know if you guys were there, and there was no way of knowing it. The main switchboard number, Shauna is saying, is 202-514-2000. And that's for the AG's office. The comment line is 202-353-1555. And again, that we need to call them. We really need to call them. Hey, Cully, thanks for coming back. Cully, I was telling everybody to go over to YouTube and sign up over there. So in the event that Periscope keeps doing this and just keeps cutting us off, we can just come over and, YouTube didn't go off. We just stayed on that. Good. Comment line. That's perfect. And they will hear those. It's, so I never even got a notification from Periscope. Yeah, well, Periscope cut us off and all that. Hey, Lori. Glad you came over here. Donna, Beck. Though I was all alone, was so sad on Periscope. Well, there were, Beck, there were a whole bunch of people there, and then all of a sudden, everybody just dropped off, and Periscope scope just shut it down. Where I couldn't see you guys. I couldn't see anything you were doing. No hearts, nothing. No comments, nothing. You're holding it down, Tillman. Yeah, I mean it's pretty sad that when Periscope feels that they have to do that. And again, they were doing that the other night to a couple of people. So I don't know what the deal is, but it's really pretty ridiculous. I mean, if you in Periscope now, if you could swipe and invite, that would be great. But again, coming over to YouTube is a really good thing. YouTube, you can just keep going and going and going, and they don't cut you off. And yeah, I know, Lori. It wasn't just you. It was everybody. Periscope just seems like they don't really like people anymore. I don't know what it is. I think, maybe they want most of the conservatives to leave Periscope. I'm not sure. I know some of the, there spin day at the dock. They were having problems with all the conservatives. Maybe they're having problems with, like some of the bigger named people with the bigger followers. They left Periscope. And I don't think they're too happy about that. Thumbs up. Yes, please. Thumbs up over there on YouTube. Strange said chat was hidden, bounced, and now it's okay. Yeah, for now. How old are you? 126877799. What a question to ask. Bye bye. It is just censorship, Donna, and especially after something like that. Hey, Karen. Thank you for letting me know your name. I kind of figured it out, but it's always good to tell me again. They don't like conservative. They know its main form of communication and news for us. Yep. Cannot see anyone who is here. Another problem this week. Yeah, Barbara. Hey, Judy. Good to see you. Judy, we got knocked off a few minutes ago. Periscope knocked us off and kind of froze. You guys could hear me, but I couldn't see anything or any comments. If that happens, please just go to YouTube, look for the Susan Knowles channel, sign up over there, and click on the little bell for notification. Yeah, fewer trolls, but and YouTube has fewer trolls too. Believe it or not, it's whacked you off then too. Okay, so if you're already signed up on YouTube, anytime that this happens, you can just hop over here on YouTube and we can just keep going. Hey, Barbara, good to see you. Thanks for coming over to YouTube. Everybody on YouTube, please give me a thumbs up. I would certainly appreciate it. Hey, Robert. Robert, if we get knocked off, please go to YouTube. Periscope knocked us off a while ago. Guess I didn't like the conversation. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's getting pretty bad. I've been on since 36 minutes, Carmen. Oh, poor Shauna. Shauna's phone. Kamala made me so upset. Yeah, Susan, she made everybody upset. Kamala wants to be president so bad that she thinks the way to do that is to just be disgusting towards everybody um, and you know just be a jerk. Somebody help Beck out. She wants to know how to change her profile picture. I think you have to go to the Beck on the page that you just signed up. Go to your profile and change your profile picture on on YouTube. Why are they censoring it? Because it's conservative talk. They did that the other night to some of the other conservatives, and a lot of the conservatives are deciding to leave Periscope and come over to YouTube. Yes, sane talk, Judy. That's right. Beck, just go over to your profile page on YouTube, change your picture on your profile page, and you'll have the picture changed over on the channel here. Yes, that's who I'm talking about, Susan. It was Adam. They really censored Adam. Adam had to stop and start like 3 times. Adam should consider going over to YouTube. Yeah, they're doing it all the time. Have to look it up. Didn't see the profile option. Yeah, you have to go back on where you just signed up, Karen, and that's your page now on YouTube, and you'll see it there. So if you will on that first Periscope, if you will retweet that one and retweet this one, I would rather you retweet that first one because we got more information in there. Yeah, and Judy, I tell you, Kamala just she you block eggs. I know. I know, Coley. That would be about half the people on Periscope, if not more. Concurrent scopes to test sensor theory. Well, I have 2 going, Tillman. In the morning, I do run 3. So, Nick, I don't know who Nick is. He's a low profile. I'm not sure who you're talking about. Yeah, in the mornings because my I didn't put anything about sessions. I didn't put anything about a dog and pony show or whatever. I wasn't censored, but it seems like now, right after the big hearing, that's when they say it. Well, my take is that Sessions did a great job. Did what it was supposed to do. Hey, Susan, just switch better connection here. Hey, Robin. Oh, Nick DeCenso. Oh, yeah. Nick, I think, is doing like, gosh, is he working for somebody else or getting ready to work for somebody else, I think. And that's why he kind of disappeared. Yeah, he's not on Periscope anymore. I don't know what he's doing. Yep, Sessions did a great job trying to get on somewhere. Yeah, I think that's probably it. Sometimes, I heard he got a new job and had to get off of social media. I can believe that. Nick got off of social media because of a new job. Yep. Wish I could have seen it. It 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 was Amanda. It was exactly what you thought it would be like. The Republicans treated him with respect. The Democrats treated him like crap. Got a state job, you know. Jobs look up your social media. I don't know what that means, but hey, Philip, good to see you. Philip, if we get knocked off, go to YouTube. The Periscope is doing the censoring again. That's what you figured. Yep. Yeah, the first part, if you didn't get the first part, just go back and listen to the replay. We talked about, I gave you my whole thing, whole spiel, basically. Means they fire you for political beliefs. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially government and security jobs, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Lori. Your husband's having heart issues. I'm sorry to hear that. Is he getting tested or? Yeah, that woman senator is Kamala Harris. You know, I think somebody asked, Shauna asked how Kamala got on that committee. I mean, you kind of apply for it, I guess, and they let you in. And you know, she probably told him, I'm coming in. She probably didn't even ask, knowing her. She was the AG in California and then became senator. She was so rude. Robin, she's always rude. Wow. You see, I mean, you know, literally, if you're doing this, and let's say you're a young person and you're looking to get a job, you probably shouldn't be on social media at all, and especially on Periscope or doing that because they mostly don't like your opinions, you know, I mean, conservatives. Best line was when Sessions raised his voice at pale liberal and purple tie. Ah. I like the way that Sessions said, "Look, you know, I'm going to answer the question. If I don't qualify myself, you'll say I lied, and that's the truth." Carmen's not liking Kamala Harris at all. Yeah, she's just rude, and again, if it's a Republican, she's very rude. I know. Best line was hearing that is now over. You know, it was a long hearing. Kamala Harris was an arrogant idiot. She will be groomed for POTUS in 2020. Yes, and she knows that. That's what she's doing right now. I loved it when Tom Cotton questioned him. His statement was pretty spot on. I know Tom was the best. I think Tom stole the show for the day. So was the same on Hannity. Cotton was on there. Yeah, Cotton was great. Nasty woman, yes indeed. I forget Rubio was weak again today, and so was John McCain. I was like, why are you even here, John? I was glad too, Robin. So there were some pretty good lines for people, and I liked how they went back and kind of clarified. The Republicans kind of clarified why he was doing what he was doing. Yeah, Trey's good. I wish Trey were a little bit more effective. Doesn't matter who it is. Rudeness is never appropriate. True, Beck. McCain needs an admission to senior living. No, McCain just needs a ticket, out of here. Just bye bye. Republicans keep putting him back in. He's the Maxine Waters of Arizona. Yeah, John. The only time John McCain is a weak is when he's on the TV talking against the president. Then John's fine. Oh wow. Okay, Kim. Sorry you can't hear it. Kim, come over to YouTube. Go to YouTube. Somebody's got to help Kim get over to YouTube and find out how to do that so that she can. Yeah, he's not weak. He's just a liberal. You are here. Great, Barbara. Kim's back. Kim, you need to go over to YouTube and start using that so that when something happens in Periscope, you have an alternative. You can go to YouTube. If you just go to youtube.com, look up Susan Knowles channel, and you'll find me, and you just sign up there, and you're in like Flint. And click on the little bell so that you can get notifications. I am set bar. Okay. Well, then you know how to do it. You just come on over because, again, I think Periscope is kicking people out, and they're, obviously freezing it where I can't see your comments at times. So either way, we can't communicate. They are all melting, Lori said. But I do think tomorrow we should make it priority that right after the scope to call Rosenstein and also a call to sessions for those two things. For Rosenstein, it's remove Mueller and all the reasons why. Um, and also for sessions, it is here's who you need to investigate. Open it up for Comey, Lynch, and Clinton administration or Clinton Foundation. You can watch without an account, but you can't reply without an account. Yeah, you need to have an account. I'm a round, no neck, no hair person in my picture. Beck said. Well, actually, you're an egg with a round head and a kind of a squared off body. Yeah. I think what. Oh, no. All right, I'm getting a call. Sorry. I kind of interrupted there. I got a call through there. All right. Hopefully, you can still see me. A call came through and almost knocked everybody off. Out of those calls. But anyway, yeah, remove Mueller. That should be hashtag remove Mueller. That should be going around. That needs to be going around all the time. Can see you. Yay! And if you guys, if you didn't get to see my live show today, I did put it out there on the timeline. God's Views on Political News was on today. So if you can do it on my timeline or just go to susanknowles.com, kind of scroll down, you'll see the show. There is, hey, Sally, there's either a YouTube or a podcast, whichever one you want. And kind of see what we talked about. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate you. Oh, thank you, Kim. Appreciate you as well. I will watch later. Sounds good. If you guys could go ahead and please just retweet that first one that we did. That's the really important one. Retweet that. And Carmen said anybody that needs help on YouTube, just DM her. She'll be glad to help you over on YouTube. Thank you, Nina. Yeah, we have fun doing that show, and we have about a little bit more than 1,000 people each time looking at that show, but we really need to get the word out and get, more people watching it. So anyway, all right, you guys, I'm going to let you go. I think we probably said all that we're going to say. Please retweet that Periscope, that first one, and we'll see you again tomorrow morning at 11 Eastern. Take care. All right, everybody on YouTube, thanks so much. Thanks for being on. Thanks for sticking it out. And we'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock Eastern. Everybody, please give me a thumbs up if you will before leaving. I would certainly appreciate it. Take care, you guys. Thank you so much.